NIISe Corp said the Ministry of Home Affairs has cancelled its contract for the National Integrated Immigration System, or NIISe. Its subsidiary NIISe Information Technology Systems was previously appointed as the developer of the new immigration system, which is aimed at replacing the current one that has been utilised by the Immigration Department for over 20 years. According to its burst filing, the unit received a notice of termination which was dated August 10th and effective immediately. It said it is seeking legal advice and looking at taking the necessary actions to protect its interests in relation to the contract. According to NIISe, the termination of the job is expected to have an impact on the group's financial performance for FY 2024, though the extent of the impact cannot be ascertained at this juncture. In May, Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said, should NIISe be found to be unable to implement the project, the government would appoint another contractor. Sime Darby will acquire halve Group, a distributor of cat equipment in South Australia and Broken Hill in New South Wales, Australia, for 500 million Australian dollars or 1.49 billion ringgit cash. In a burst filing today, the conglomerate said its subsidiary Sime Darby Industrial Machinery Australasia entered into a share sale agreement to acquire the entire share capital of Cuxton and 98.9% share capital of Kagera. Kagera is the holding company of a group of companies that operate halve Group, while Cuxton holds a 1.1% stake in Kagera. The 500 million Australian dollar consideration is the agreed enterprise value. Sime Darby Group CEO Datuk Jeffrey Salim Davidson said the acquisition complements its existing portfolio and provides geographic expansion to position its industrial division in high-growth infrastructure and commodity areas of the Australian market. The group plans to leverage the successful management performance of halve and the cat brand across the growing resources, infrastructure and energy sectors. The deal is expected to be finalised in the coming weeks. Berjaya Food had a challenging fourth quarter FY 2023 due to lower sales and margin compression arising from inflationary pressures and the unfavourable foreign exchange rate against the US dollar. Earnings more than halved to 17.3 million ringgit, while revenue dropped some 7% to 271.75 million ringgit. Full-year net profit fell 17% to 103.4 million ringgit, despite a 12% increase in revenue to 1.12 billion ringgit. It declared a fourth interim dividend of 0.5 cent a share. Separately, Berjaya Food, via its subsidiary Berjaya Food International, has signed a master franchise agreement to open South Korean bakery Paris Baguette in the Philippines. The deal was inked between Berjaya Food's unit, Middle Trade Inc. and Singapore's Paris Baguette, with the first store slated to open in the fourth quarter of this year. Berjaya Food International and Middle Trade will be the principal operators of the Paris Baguette stores under Paris Baguette Philippines. The partnership targets to spread the brand's presence with more stores in key cities across the Philippines. Berjaya Food Group CEO Datuk Sidney Keys noted that this development came more than 6 months after a successful expansion in Malaysia, a feat which the group hopes will be replicated in the Philippines. Maxis is launching a new range of plans with 5G services starting tomorrow, following the execution of the access agreement it inked with DNB to subscribe for the latter's 5G network on a wholesale basis. Maxis said the upgraded plans come with more than double the data for both 4G and 5G and additional bonus data for 5G. Its Chief Executive Officer Goh Xiao Eng said the plans are designed to meet the increasing digital needs of both consumers and businesses, especially for video content consumption and productivity tools. It is bringing the 5G plans to its customers after getting the approval of its shareholders at the extraordinary general meeting today and the subsequent signing of the access agreement with DNB. He said the plans offer attractive value for all segments, with a focus on affordability and adoption so that everyone can enjoy the benefits of 5G. Former Bank Negara Governor Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Aziz said Datuk Sri Najib did not ask the central bank about the source of funds that had entered into his account, which turned out to be 3.2 billion ringgit instead of 2.6 billion, following the M-Bank raid by a joint task force set up to probe the 1MDB scandal. During examination-in-chief by Deputy Public Prosecutor Kamal Baharin Omar, Zeti also denied that the central bank had known as early as 2013 that large amounts of money had made its way into the then Prime Minister's accounts. Zeti testified that the money being moved into Najib's accounts seemed to have been disguised or hidden by M-Bank, which failed to report the suspicious transaction. On the funds received by her husband's asset management firm in Singapore that allegedly came from 1MDB, Zeti said Datuk Taufik Aiman had himself alerted Singaporean authorities about the $15.4 million or 71 million ringgit held by the firm. She said her husband had written a letter to say that the monies concerned could be of dubious nature and ought to be returned to the investors or the country of origin.